here on a Saturday and I don't have any makeup on. Found some lip gloss in my purse, but since it's Saturday morning, I thought I'd come in here to the sewing room and knock out some of the difficult work. As you can see, we finished the puffing around the neckline and it looks really good. And next I'm going to add my ribbon, and we're going to start shaping the ribbon around this edge. We still want to use our decorative torn edge. It's going to be part of the embellishment. But Angela and I thought it would be pretty to also finish the bottom edge, so I'm going to also shape it along the bottom as well. But I wanted to show you a few more things before we move on. I'll turn it around to the back, and I've got the back kind of overlapped because Madelyn is a little bit bigger than the body form. But since we've, I wanted to show you this because usually when I put in a zipper, I have a lining, and I usually turn that and finish the other side of the zipper by hand, but you won't be able to do that on this piece because we've stitched our puffing here, which doesn't allow us to separate that lining. So I'm going to put the zipper in, treating this whole bodice as one, and in that I'm glad that I used the selvage edge as my back edge. So it's a good thing to use the selvage edge, especially now since I'm not going to have a really neat lining on the inside. Also, I wanted to show you that these two pieces, the outer piece and the lining piece, are independent of each other. And remember when we did, I was talking about the side seam. As you can see here, I put the waistband on the back and the waistband on the front, and then I joined the side seam. I joined the side seam like this. I opened it up, matched these two pieces, matched these two pieces, make it turn that towards you better, and then stitched it all the way down. Then when you turn it together, it becomes lined. I hope that makes sense to you, but it's an easier way you know, to handle the lining. Also, I wanted to show you here where we've added the two layers of tatting. We shaped the bottom layer first and then the second layer on top of it. And what I've done is I took, our ecru edging was too dark and our white edging was too white. So I simply dipped, you can see the difference here. This used to be white. I simply dipped this in a coffee, 2 cups of coffee and 2 cups of water. I dipped it in there for 2 minutes just to knock the white off. So I wanted a ivory, a soft cream colored tatting, and it's easy just to knock the white off by dipping it in coffee. And this is going to go around the bottom edge of the skirt, and I'm going to work on that next. So, well, after I get the ribbon put on this. My what I've learned on this is I suggest, if you are making this, that you start your puffing in the back and work up to the shoulder seam. Stop there and then work one whole piece, and I really think one whole piece would go from shoulder seam to shoulder seam. You know, if you stretch it. Mine, I started at shoulder seam, and right here is where, I can't even find it now, but somewhere here is where my join is, where I did the seam. So don't worry. The reason I would suggest starting in the back is because my best puffing strip was the last one I set in. I had become so practiced and so comfortable with it that it was the fastest and easiest one to do. So if you start in the back and you move to the shoulder, go to the back and move to the shoulder, then you've gotten a lot of practice in, and your front piece will be even easier. Now, don't worry if your front piece ends somewhere in the front. As you can see, you can't see the seam. I mean, I'm looking at it very close and I can't even find it. So, no worries there. I'm going to move on, shape the ribbon onto this, attach it, and then I'll come back. I'm back. Here it is, finished. The bodice anyway. The bodice is complete, and I've added the ribbon to the top and the bottom of the puffing. Let me close in on that real close so you can see it. I'm going to move this down a little bit for you because I want to show you the back side of this too. Okay, I've stitched on the top edge and the bottom edge, just right on the edge. I used a rayon embroidery thread because it's shiny like the ribbon is. And also I had to deal with these little silk ribbon flowers, and I just took a pin and pinned the little loop out of the way on every one of them and just stitched straight around it so I wouldn't catch these little pieces. Your ribbon may not have that on it, and that would be great, but you know, I wouldn't blame you, or I wouldn't hate you if you wanted to just glue these things on, because it is a little bit of a little bit of work to get them in place and stitch them on, but it does look nice when you're finished. So I wanted to show you the other side so you wouldn't worry what the inside of yours looked like. This is what the inside of mine looks like, and here's all the stitching that you're seeing on the lining. This is the lining. Well, you just can't help that. That's just, you know, what I really would have liked to had a clean lining here, but the reason I couldn't have a lining is, as you can see, I have this raw ruffle edge, and to have put the lining right sides together after finishing this without catching that little ruffle edge would have been impossible. So I just completed the bodice first and then applied all of the decorative stuff right on top of it through both layers, the top and the lining layer. So that's that, and I'm going to work on the skirt now.